Whoa, so what is growing on? We are back down here in beautiful Bradenton, Florida, working on the water. And let me just tell you, when I put the drone up and got to see the water behind here, definitely gave me the itch to get out on the boat, get out and do some fishing. This is quite a beautiful sight. As you can see over here over my left shoulder, lots of understory, lots of oak trees, very similar to my site. I'm hoping this audio is okay here with the winds today. But that's what kind of got them excited, seeing the videos, seeing what was possible in the understory. So we did a phase 1 of our design on this project, and we did end up designing this entire field over here behind me, which this could be phase 2. The idea to get a windbreak up here by this front fence eventually, and then we have a full sun area, which they do own all the way out to the road, where we can push some more stone fruits, mangoes, lychees, things that want a little bit more sun for production. So that would be more of a long term down here. And the client already had a lot of established bamboo on the property. I saw the chungi, the black, Asian lemon, Textilis gracilis, a couple different varieties. I know they have the, I think the angel mist in here. I know the blues in here. We actually added a couple of clumps of bamboo right here in this section that wasn't quite closed in yet. We chose a 25-foot clumper, so that's the Alphonse Carr yellow cane, green stripe to fill this in. And it is a really bushy bamboo too, so within a year or two, you won't even know this section was here and missing. These other bamboos, they're very pretty, but they're not quite probably the best choice for privacy or a windbreak. They're a little thin, they're wider canes, you know, where if you would have went with like a Textilis gracilis or a sea breeze, it would have completely blocked it out. These are a little bit more of an open clumper. You can kind of see how they're open. They have the silver kind of coming up on the trunks. I believe this is angel mist or the blue chungi. Really, really beautiful variety. You can see when I wipe it there, it makes little handprints. And it's a beautiful bamboo. It's just not maybe the most ideal for privacy and windbreaks. So it is what it is. You guys ready to see this project? Ready for me to shut up? So we got the rigs locked and loaded. Guys have been here we've been on this project for today being day 4, actually about 3.5 days on this install. If we didn't get rain the other day, we probably could have worked 3 10s or 12s and been out of here in 3 days. So you guys ready to see this project? So the homeowner here did supply us with about 30 yards of hardwood mulch for the project. This stuff just came in yesterday. We ended up hauling in about 20 of our own to complete. We needed about 50 to 55 yards of mulch for all of the beds that we did here. There is a seating area that just went in over here. We used a coquina base with shell on top. Just kind of helped with moving this with the machine. The homeowner did most of this work on their own. They've already got the fire pit kind of ready to go. And you can see these beds get really good dappled light. So it's not like a deep shade situation in here. We didn't come through and thin the oaks. They've already been thinned, but they're thin enough where they're letting enough light through. So things like the chaya, the galangal, the elderberry, firebush, bananas, all of that's going to thrive really well in this understory. And do know that a lot of these plants, you know, came from my farm. Even though we use protection and we put frost blanket on them, they are a little bit beat up. Things will obviously be looking a lot better here when I get back for that follow-up, hopefully spring, summer. So that's the most exciting, to watch these projects evolve and fill in. There's some taro in here, there's society garlic, there's passion fruits that are going up the oak trees. And I think this bed had about 5 bananas in it, 3 on this end, 2 on the other end. And the homeowner had a couple of olives already, where we tried to put them in the sunnier spots on the bed. So this, you can see, it's getting full sun. We have an olive here, and then we kind of have another olive over there on the entry as you're stepping into the space. And these rocks are already here. This is actually a drain that was put in for the property. I think it drains out towards into the backyard. I don't know if there's a low spot here, but I'm guessing it holds some water in the rainy season. They already had some veggie gardens. They already had some chickens. I think they got some cool ones too. They got some of those silkies. Let's check them out. I think the goal is here to get a bigger coop and get these guys doing a little free range action. Yo, what's growing on? What is going on? You guys got some moringa in there, or some weeds? Look at the hair on you. Huh? Hey, what up? You guys think I should go in? I'm going in. You guys are scared of me. Come on. All right, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. So pro tip, I have found that chickens love to eat this native Boston fern. I'll come through here on my own chickens and strip it off, just like you see there, and drop it in the coop, and typically they'll eat it. I say that now, I'm on video. It might be a little bit of a different situation. Let's see what these guys think about that. Alright. I think these guys are camera shy. Maybe if we move over here, they'll move back. Dudes, what you guys doing under there? Hey, I see you. Starting to feel like I'm terrorizing chickens. Oh, they're back over there eating the ferns. So I see there's weeds in there, there's moringa in there, and they are picking at that fresh fern. This is a rooster. What's up, dude? Hey. Something else I should point out, we did plant probably 4 or 5 citrus trees here, taking advantage of that oak overstory, hoping they'll thrive a little bit better in that dappled light, in that more close to native habitat, and also being around those oaks. So it's kind of key when you're growing citrus trees down here. We find best place to put them is in the understory if you have that ability. All right, so this second bed in has lots of shade-loving perennials like katuk, sisu spinach, Okinawan spinach, and then we have some salvias and pentas along the edge because of the dappled light. Actually, just recently talking with the guy that runs the native nursery, he said, as we're getting hotter every year, you know, as these temperatures are rising, as we're having more brutal and dry summers, salvias are doing better in the shade. So, and I have noticed that some projects we put them on in full sun, they're struggling. They're taking a beating where, at least when you're in the dappled light, you're getting the in-betweens, you're getting the breaks, and you're not getting that extreme heat all day long. This one does have a tangerine. Oh, something I forgot to mention. So the clients here are awesome. They told me that their daughter is my biggest fan. They were keeping her home from school late one day to meet me. When I heard that, I ended up picking her a Rubbermaid container full of Japotacabas. I went in the greenhouse. I picked a special scarlet Japotacaba, and of course, you know, I brought her a Green Dreams hat. So you guys might see her in the video. I tried to get her with the drone. She was a little bit shy. But it's awesome. I get really excited when I hear kids are into what I'm doing and they look up to this kind of work. I mean, that kind of warms me a little bit. So just thought I'd share that with you guys. This bed has black Suriname cherry, a guava, gurmichama, Japotacaba, starfruit loves the shade, and loquat. We tried to get that in an area that had a little bit more light, we noticed during the day, because loquats will take the shade. They're just not going to fruit as well in the shade. I've noticed production being a little bit lower. And I know the rule of thumb is, for me at least, anything that loses its leaf, full sun, anything that's evergreen can take the shade. And last time I went to Hart to see Josh, he had a mulberry right in the front of his place in deep shade that was like one of the most beautiful lush mulberries I've ever seen. I don't know if it was the Hunter or the 6th Street variety, and it was covered in fruit. Kind of blew my mind. So they will even fruit in the shade, just not as productively. A couple of beauty berries in here. There is some goldenrod in here. There's some blue porterweed for ground cover. We used our typical mimosa peanut almost in every bed. This bed does have a couple of cat whiskers. And then stepping into the last bed of the design, this one has 1 or 2 bananas, 1 or 2 more citrus, a papaya. Actually, I think 3 citrus in this bed, but this is more of a perennial vegetable bed. So there's cranberry hibiscus, there's 3 or 4 different types of the edible leaf hibiscus. There's sisu spinach, there's Okinawan spinach, there's longevity spinach. We even have the skinny leaf variety of the sisu spinach. So the idea of this bed is a couple of main fruit trees, and really just be able to come in here and harvest greens. In the morning, this one seemed to get really good light. Right now it's about midday and it's still quite dappled, as you can see. It's not a deep shade bed. This 5th bed over here was actually already here on site. We mulched it, we added irrigation when we did the system, we came back through, we fertilized, we biochar, we compost all those plants, hoping to give them a little bit more of a go-go. You know, the client said that he planted this Mexican sunflower over here months ago, and it was still only, you know, 8 inches tall, which is kind of mind-blowing to me. These things typically grow super, super fast. And I know most people that know Mexican sunflower or Tithonia, you think full sun, and that is typical. But I'll tell you that I have, you know, Mexican sunflower, Tithonia in one of my banana beds, and I'm blown away with how quickly it grows. My only complaint would be, A, it doesn't flower, and then B, when I chop and drop, because it is in the shade, it doesn't die right away. So sometimes those cuttings that you're chopping and dropping can take off, can live, can re-sprout, re-root. So that would be the downside to growing the Mexican sunflower in the shade. Why that one hasn't done anything, I'm not quite sure. Another awesome project, another exciting project, really epic location. Can't wait to come back here and follow up on this one. Just so you guys know, I think our next big project that I'm filming is in Orlando. Got 2 in a row coming up there. One's about a 2-week, one's about a 6-week. Next week, we're on a big cleanup job of like an established food forest. We didn't plant it, super overgrown, needs a bunch of mulch, needs a bunch of invasives moved out. I didn't think it was exciting enough for a video. If you guys are into that kind of stuff, tell me in the comments down below. It's really hard for me to break out the camera on something like that. And you know, like I said, we didn't plant it. Yes, it looks a lot better when we leave. It's just, to me, it's not quite the action, but I know I don't get you guys a lot of trimming and pruning action. So if that's something you want, tell me down below. Most importantly, if you guys like this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so. You gotta make sure you pound that bell to stay notified. YouTube plays all kinds of games with me. And then most importantly, get out there and pound some dirt, plant a garden, start a food forest, plant some natives. I don't care what it is, you can do it.